Okay, hi guys. I decided to create a video about builds, but a little bit different, because there are like a lot of new players or low SHD players that are coming back to game, and I think it's important to tell them the roles in a game, how it works, what they should and shouldn't play, and so on, or at least giving them piece of advice. Uh, First thing first, there are like three main roles in this game: the red core, yellow core, blue core, and the fourth like special type is hybrids. Uh, Red cores. That's like the basic DPS builds in this game, right? Like everybody's gonna tell you, first thing you should create is a DPS build. Um, there are two ways how to create a DPS build. The first way is to use like classic guns and the gear sets. That's something like this. It can be Heartbreaker, it can be Striker, it can be Negotiator's dilemma is pretty good too. Type of gun you choose, and the fourth is the for the shotgun. It's damn it, how it's called? It's yeah, Hunter's Fury, for example. And there is a second way how to create DPS builds, and these are sniper builds. It looks like this. The sniper builds, you can use Aces of Eights or Tip of the Spear, for example. The main thing you need to have in your sniper build is the Headhunter. As you can say from the name of the talent, Headhunter, you have to land your shots and you have to be pretty precise. The problem with the sniper DPS guy is that you need to pick your targets and be proficient. So that means that every time there's a new bunch of enemies, you have to pick the targets with high priority, like medics, changas, dogs, like targets that are like biggest threat to your team. On the other hand, the normal DPS guys will just kill closest targets to them to create like clear area in front of you. And yes, they will focus on Changas and they will try to destroy the medic drones as fast as they can, but you understand, it's like that. Okay, so this is how it goes with DPS builds. And you can, for sure, you can build a like pure yellow sniper build with some kind of like super pistol damage with a with a yeah Dodge City Gunslinger roster and so on, and pure yellow DPS builds. But if you want to create like basic DPS build now, use gear sets: Heartbreaker, Negotiator, Striker, Hunter's Fury, or Tip of the Spear, and Aces for the sniper build. That's for the red cores. And as a DPS guy, you need to know how to aim, where to stand to not get killed that easily, and you have to pick your targets. So there's like three things you have to do. The second thing is the blue cores. These are tanks basically, right? You can use the Foundry Bulwark, you can use True Patriot for more like supportive tanks to give your teammates more buffs. Uh, you can use Pointman, you can use the Tardigrade, and so on. Basically, you provide an armor to your teammates. You take an aggro, so you have to stand in front of all the guys and take the aggro from the mobs. So your DPS guys behind you can only focus on killing enemies. So basically, the tank guys need to know how to stand and where to stand and take aggro. So playing tank is already easier than playing DPS in a group. So that was tank builds. And the last builds are yellow builds. These are like three types of yellow builds, like main three types. Healer, the CC or status effect player, and the skill DPS/tank build. Healer, that's a basic medic, as you can see, the future initiative, it's a way to go. I'm like, it's better to use guns that provide in some kind of bonuses, so Scorpio and perfect with opportunistic. The good thing about healer is that you heal in your DPS guys, so they don't have to think that much about where they are standing, and you providing them bonus damage. The 25% from the future initiative, 10% opportunistic, another the 20% from the shotgun. It's like what, 55%? That's a lot. If you have 3 DPS players and you're basically providing 165% bonus damage for your whole team. You're creating one another DPS player. So that and you're healing them all. So that's how important you are. And your only role is standing behind and throw in the healing hive and use your healing skill. Sounds pretty easy, right? And that's right. Even the bad healer is still better than no healer. And bad healer is still better than a bad DPS player. Status effect or CC. This build is really good for speed runs and for overall better team play, but I would say I would not suggest this build for like new players, because trust me, it's you have to play really like a group, and it's not that easy every time. The pro for the legendary missions is definitely that you can get rid of the robo dogs, or at least stun the robo dogs, and so stun the enemies and so on, so they will not overwhelm your whole group. Last but not least is that DPS/tank slash skill build. That's something like this. This build, don't look at it like it's perfect. It's not. I got like seven yellow cores, and I don't need to. Like one of these pieces can be blue core, red core. But what's important? You want to have as much DPS as you can, the skill wise, and use the turret and artificial hive or the drone. The artificial hive and the turret biggest advantage is the turret will never die if your artificial hive is up and running. So it will soak a lot of damage, it will take a lot of aggro from your DPS guys, and you will do DPS. With the drone, you will take a lot of aggro too, but the drone will be destroyed and the turret will be destroyed faster, so we will have to wait for the cooldown. But it works. It works. You will have more damage. You will take the aggro. It's perfect. So, this is the way how to play skill build. Now you can tell me, okay, but it's hard to create a skill build. No, it's actually not. The easiest way how to create a skill build is very jack of all trades. It's a hardwired. With the hardwired build, you can play medic. You can play that skill/tank build, and you can play, for example, something like big shield with these explosive balls. So you will push the enemies out of a cover for your DPS guys. So this build is actually very proficient. I would use something like BTSU Glove there, like this with the turret artificial hive, or turret and healing hive. You will reset those cooldowns, take the aggro with your turret, got the heal in your. You can be like really great support, and different specialization. This build is specifically for the last event when the guys taking more damage from the explosions. The NPCs taking more damage from the explosions. It's a Guardian or something like that. No, Hollywood. It's actually Hollywood. Sorry, it's Hollywood. So now, when you know what are the yellow, what are the blue, what are the red builds, the important thing is the red builds are there for um, going through the mission, right? You have to kill the mobs to be able to carry on in your mission. So if you're playing solo, use the red build to be efficient. But if you join, for example, legendary mission and you see that there is a good guy playing DPS, don't do it. Don't play DPS. You will be standing in front of him, you will be using the same cover as him most of the times. It's not worth it. He will be angry, you will be angry because you will die, your whole squad will wipe, and it's not gonna be that much fun. But if you use the supportive build for this DPS guy, it's gonna be so much better. Trust me, it's gonna be so much better. So if you join a legendary mission and you are like low SHD player there, play supportive builds. Definitely play supportive builds if they are DPS players. If they are DPS players. The only difference and exception are raids. Because the supportive players like tanks and healers and so on in the raids, most of the times they are doing the raid mechanic. Some kind of raid mechanic. So, and because the raid mechanics are hard to fast explain, fast learn, it's really easier to tell these guys to play DPS builds and just shoot all the mobs and shoot the boss afterwards. So that's the reason why the raids are exception, and for the raids, the easiest way how to play the raids is DPS. For everything else, the DPS is actually hardest part because that's the part that's make you progress through a mission, and these guys have to be very very efficient, and they need your support to be efficient. And you're not supporting them if you are like not that good and you just like standing in front of them, not healing them, not taking aggro, like not helping them, right? So that's it, guys. And last thing, there are like hybrid builds, right? The hybrid builds are best for if you're playing solo. For example, this is my like solo legendary build. You see like one blue core, this is one yellow core, second, third yellow core, one more blue core, so I have like level 5 shield, and I have a DPS build. If I'm playing in group, I would play something like legendary mission, like legendary build. It's the same build basically, but more DPS. Because I don't need to be that tanky, because I have these guys that doing the tank role for me, or the healing role for me. And that's it, guys. 3 different strategies, and the DPS is not always the best. So choose wisely. And thank you for your time.